Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Social Distancing Social Club. As we've been doing for the last couple of weeks, or the last week, I guess, time has no meaning anymore. We have been gathered here on the live stream. I'm one of your hosts, Steve Hofstetter, and I appreciate you all joining us. Of course, as you pour into the chat, a couple quick things. As you can see on the screen, super chat, that guarantees you an answer to your question. You can also toss us a Venmo that is at the top right of the screen. And if you want to tip a comedian during their set, we're going to have 3 comedians performing live today. Please do that. And with that, I want to introduce one of the other members of the quarantine. Please welcome one of our other hosts. You know him from Chelsea lately, where he was a cast member for many years. Also, his special Neurotic Gangster is now available for free on YouTube. Please welcome Mr. Ben Gleib, everybody. Ben Gleib.
Thank you, Steve Hofstetter. Hello, Isolation Nation. Cup of Joe to everybody. Hope you all are doing well as you find things to do. We give you about an hour a day, except Mondays, Thursdays. The rest of the day is on you. Try to push ups or don't kill your roommate. Whatever it takes to keep you alive, we're supportive of it. We have an incredible show today. Our celebrity guest we'll introduce in a minute is a amazing comedian. Josh Wolf will be here. We also have 3 great stand-up comedians. You might be extra familiar with one of the 3. We'll keep that as a surprise. And I'm gonna now introduce to you our third host, the third part of the quarantine, the third leg of the tripod. That is us, a regular on the Bob and Tom radio show. Please welcome the tuxedo, Chris Bowers.
By the way, Gleib, sorry, I know you just introduced Bowers, but Gleib, you're freezing up. Just a heads up. You might want to check on your connection if you can. Yeah, you keep freezing up. It was actually fun because you freezed as you were about to introduce Bowers, as if technology itself said we don't hear from him. But Chris Bowers, everybody.
Hey, everybody, what's up? I'm like questions about the Astros. When you start talking about them, the thing cuts out. I don't know what's going on. I'm excited. If you were here yesterday, or 3 days ago, you'd understand that reference. Yeah, the Time is Lost meeting Sunday, I think. I don't know what's going on, but we're having a great time. I'm drinking a lot. I'm having a lot of fun. It's my best week I've ever had in my life. So thank you for all the quarantine people and all the people out there. Let's get after it.
All right, excellent. And with that, Ben, are you good on connection? You want to introduce our special guest?
I hope I'm good on connection. I'm doing it from hotspot on my phone, so for some reason my Wi-Fi is being slowed lately. I think it's probably because everyone's on the internet and we each need to calm down, but I'm pissed about it. Anyway, this man is a hilarious comedian. He has videos on the internet with like 100 million views. He's got 1 million subscribers across YouTube and Facebook. He was one of the I was on the show for years. People regular on the show was it freezing? Is it freezing?
Yeah, it certainly was.
No.
It was very heartfelt, but it also froze.
Yeah. Is it better now?
Yeah.
As of now, let's try to get through this one.
It just has a little Max Headroom vibe where you just freeze for a second.
Anyway, this man was one of the stars of Chelsea lately. He was the star and host of the Josh Wolf Show on CMT, and his name is Josh. Josh Wolf.
Freeze. It froze right on my name. That was perfect.
Josh Wolf, everybody.
Listen, since everybody else is, drinking, I thought I'd come in with you guys have your drinks or whatever.
Yeah.
I got my By the way, is anybody else jerking off with their gloves on or just me?
Yeah, I hear that's good. Your dick can't catch it. It's just from the rest of you. So.
Yeah. Who knew? But anyway, thanks for having me, guys. Excited to be here. I appreciate you guys referring to me as a celebrity, but I guess in this group
I like to. I definitely like to tease sometimes, like when Rivers is on the show, and he had a couple of videos get a few million views. I always like to tease him about like, oh yeah, that's adorable. But then you come on the show, and I'm just like, well, fuck. I guess mine's cute. Then.
Guys, I honestly think that it goes in waves. Like I put up a video now, and I'm like, well, why does that only? You know what I mean? But now that I have these blue gloves and this baby hand with a joint, I think my career is really going to take.
I don't know, why doesn't the baby hand have a glove?
Oh my goodness! Well,
oh, for the love of God, please tell me you have one. Oh, please.
He has a tiny glove for this baby hand. I'm going to do it.
Oh, please. Please.
I don't, but I do have one that has a little dressed up. And by the way, man, no, I don't want to say anything, but hey, I mean, just for asking, Bowers, you know what I'm saying?
So I don't know. Do you have a whole room of handless dolls somewhere? This would be the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I don't have any handless dolls, but I will tell you what. I do have a couple of footless ones.
My God.
I have never been a fan of prop comedy until we started doing it.
We've all been cooped up at home alone for so long that you start going through your cupboards, your cabinets, and you find things you didn't know you had. All of us have gotten fun gag birthday gifts from our friends, but now one of them has become my girlfriend. Please meet Judy, everybody. Love her.
My favorite thing about that is Ben trying to convince us that he didn't know he had that.
I didn't know. I swear to God. My girlfriend just looked in the closet. She's like, the fuck is this? And I was like, hey, it's still sealed. You can tell the box is sealed. I've never used it. You don't smoke.
So, speaking of human-looking things that are actually empty on the inside, I do want to go to the news for a second and talk about Rand Paul. So, Rand Paul, for those unfamiliar, is the only senator who voted against the coronavirus relief bill. He also just found out this morning that he has coronavirus. And after he found that out, apparently he went swimming at the gym pool. So holy fuck, Rand Paul is somehow the second worst senator from Kentucky.
Yeah,
I think
that's crazy.
I think it's still a two-way. I think it's still a two-way tie, man. I don't know, but
the other one is Mitch McConnell, by the way, in case you're not familiar with the states of our asshole senators.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. There's an international audience. So you guys just imagine if Boris Johnson had two twin boys and one of them looked like a turtle. Like that's who we're talking about.
By the way,
I don't know how we don't call Mitch McConnell ScoMo, but whatever. That's
what's that?
I don't know. We call Mitch.
It's not. No, you know what? Don't. It's not.
It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
I was asking Josh. I was asking Josh to say what he was going to say. I didn't want Bowers to repeat.
Yeah, it wasn't funny the first time, motherfucker. Yeah, I don't remember what I was going to say. I smoked too much weed. Hey,
have I stopped freezing, by the way?
What's that?
Have I stopped freezing?
Thus far, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank Jesus. Thank Jesus.
Yeah, but we're gonna have you introduce another guest soon, so we'll see if you freeze again.
Fantastic.
That's the ultimate test. By the way, if you guys want to throw in obviously some super chats or some Venmo, keeps the show going, and it's a way that comics get paid. So please do that and support folks in this time. So we got a couple super chats coming in. Queen Rachel, you want to read that out for us?
Yeah, hi everybody. So we've got Z Bunster gave us $20 for the show, and then the Rockin' Donkey sent $2 and says, "I didn't think it was possible to love Steve more."
Oh, that is very nice, and I hope you were saying that in comparison to someone else.
By the way, Steve,
yeah,
I like how your fans. I like the names of your fans. The Rockin' Donkey.
That's
awesome.
By the way, his name on the thing, it just says Jeff. I don't know why Rachel called him the Rockin' Donkey. I have no idea. By the way, special shout out to Z Bunster, who I believe has supported every single episode so far. That does not go unnoticed. We very, very much appreciate that. And we can shout out some of the people who are in our live video audience here as well. Who do we have? We've got Carrie M. We've got Katie. We've got Todoresk. We've got Avery. We've got Trevor. Thank you guys.
We got Chrissy. We got.
Oh, is there even more? Did I miss? Oh yeah, we got Chrissy too. Well, Chrissy's Bauer's girlfriend. Does she count as audience?
No.
She counts as she's a person. She's still a person.
She is a person, but she's a person who's willing to live with Bowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she also has to listen there, but she also has to listen to Bowers comedy more than anybody. She's still here. That's huge sacrifice for us.
Yeah. Yay, Chrissy.
She just shot herself in the head.
Hey, you guys don't know this, but in between shows, Chrissy's going around and just licking mailboxes, hoping to get coronavirus. So, said it's the quickest way out.
Josh, I have a question for you, my friend. How has the quarantine been? How are you in Bethany? What are you doing to occupy your time? Tell us.
Well, listen, Beth has been busy. She shot a music video, so she's been busy editing the music video and putting it together. And I've been smoking weed and taking mushrooms.
Fair.
Yeah.
So one of us is professional and one of us is me.
What I love about that, by the way, is Josh's answer just means nothing has changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I will tell you, here's what's changed. When they said we might run out of water, that's why I haven't showered in 5 days. So, I may not be showering quite as much. I walk around with these on as a joke. I love doing this to Beth. See you later. But I think she's getting tired of seeing me, though. I'm usually only home 2 or 3 days a week, Ben? So I'm here all the time. And I like to play jokes on people, and I usually play them on people out there. I can take this off. The joke's done now. But I usually play jokes on people out there, but she's the only person here now. So, she's like, I can't wait for you to leave. I did something. So she moves one of her pillows every night, bottom pillow. So I clipped a couple of my toenails and I put them under her bottom pillow. When she reached under her pillow, she was like, "What the fuck?" And she lifted up her pillows, and there was like a little pile of toenails under her pillow.
Josh, that is clinically insane. You have lost your mind.
I'm going crazy, man.
You think
we just
joke, man? Jesus Christ.
I'm actually really glad about this because now we know that Bethany is going to stop working on her music video and work around the clock trying to find a cure.
There has never been a better example of how you stop giving a shit once you're married. Oh my God.
I'll tell you something. We've been married. This is how long we've been married, Ben. Ready for this? There's a level of honesty that comes. There's a level of honesty that comes with marriage in certain length of marriage. We've been together now for 19 years. We've been married for 15, right? So this is how you can tell we've been together for a long time. She said this to me. This is how honest we are with each other. We were in bed having sex, and she was on top of me, and she looked down at me and she goes, "Your face looks really stupid tonight. Look over there." I go, "What?" And she goes, "I can't concentrate. Look over there. Your face looks really stupid."
Wow.
I was like, yeah, okay. Well, that doesn't hurt my feelings. It probably does look kind of stupid. He made me look away over to the right.
Wow, dude. I think she deserves the toenail clipping.
By the
She's
way,
not used to seeing Josh's face during sex on Saturdays. He's usually out of town.
Yeah, exactly. It's somebody else's usually.
Yeah. Quick shout out. We just had a super chat come in from Sapient Haggis, another wonderful username. It's looks like it's £2 and it says wishing I could spark up with Josh. So Josh, you got a fan there. So you can just virtually, I guess. Although we don't know what's legal where you guys are. We're not going to encourage or discourage. And also, we have games that we play in the super chats all the time. You can super chat us or Venmo if you want to participate. There's a $5 minimum to win the prize. The prize is albums from all three of our hosts. And the way it works is on this one, we're going to say, what is the worst thing you have done to a spouse or significant other? And let's see if anyone could beat Josh's toenail clippings. The lead, for sure.
By the way, Steve, I can beat the toenail one.
You know what? I've toured with you. I shouldn't have doubted. I apologize.
Josh, hit us with your new low.
No. Hold on. Save the new low. Once we pick a winner from the super chats, Josh is gonna blow them the fuck out the water.
Okay.
So if you want to super chat and compete, throw in $5. You can actually, and you could put yours in there also and not super chat. You're just not eligible for the prize. But if you throw in $5 with yours, we will read it out loud and we'll see who the best one is. And with that, I think it's time to introduce our first stand-up performance of the evening. What do you guys think?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, excellent. Much like Josh, I think a lot of my viewers are familiar with this comic. He has been touring with me for the past 4 or 5 years. One of my favorite comics, one of my favorite people, a regular cast member on Laughs, which is on Hulu if you want to go watch that. Featured in Rolling Stone. Please put it together for my friend and yours, Mr. Brett Druck, everybody. Brett Druck.
Oh, thank you. Nice to be here.
Oh, man. Perfect angle.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me. And first of all, I've been a fan of Josh Wolf. I enjoy it. But the props, I really like Carrot Josh, I think probably more than I like I'm also looking forward to somebody doing a super chat and just being like, yeah, I murdered my wife. And then they win. Cool. But nice to be here. It's cool to get out of my kitchen and into my living room. I've been doing a lot of sexting. That's tough for me. I have a lot of trouble with, like, I can't be sexy when I'm trying to be. Like, I wanted to, I can't choose the right words is what the problem is. I wanted to tell this woman recently that I had very specific desires, but I ended up whispering, I have special needs. So, I'm trying, I'm not, I miss signals from women a lot. That's the worst. I was flirting with a lady. She's like, you're so good with your words. I wonder what else you're good with. I was like, oh, computers. That's not what she meant. But I'm bad at, I'm bad with women in general. I'm bad at dating. I'm bad at first dates. I took a woman on a date once and, I thought a scavenger hunt would be like a fun first date. And it was. We were like having a blast, but halfway through she realized we were running my errands. So that was kind of my fault. It's tough. I'm bad. I went on a date with a woman recently and she turned out to be a little bit older than I thought. So when she told me her age, I said, I can't believe that. You look amazing. She went, be original. That's what everybody says. So I was like, you're a lot closer to death than you look, which is, that's it worked. We ended up making out, but then she stopped me in the middle of us making out. She's like, I can't do this. I have kids your age. I was like, it's okay. I have parents your age. It's fine. Yeah, I'm nice. It's nice being alone with myself. I'm not seeing other dudes, which I get jealous of other dudes often. Like a lot of dudes have big biceps. I feel like it's easy for them to impress women. It's not as easy for me. My dominant feature is my quadriceps, which women are not like impressed by these bad boys. You know? Woman is at a bar like, ooh, who's that? Look at him. He's got big biceps. He looks like he could protect me, but wait a minute, never mind. Who's that next to him? He looks like he could run and get help. You know, that's not happening. I've been working out recently. That's been good. I was doing P90X for a little while. That's, you guys, I'm sure know it. They use a technique called muscle confusion, and that was working. My muscles had no idea what was going on. My sister, I tried to give her a hug. I kicked her in the neck. My muscles are just super confused. But yeah, it's rough. I was using this protein powder. It's 0 carbs, 0 sugar. It tasted delicious. I got to read the ingredients. It's all like chemicals, artificial stuff, like aspartame. But that was also working. I was showing off. I was like, check out my muscles. People are like, those are tumors. I was like, yeah, gains, bro, gains. You know. I got invited to a gender reveal party once, and I think if you're gonna throw one of those parties, you need to clarify in the invitation that the gender reveal is only for the baby, because French coats. They're like, it's a boy. I was like, and a man, and that really ruined the party. I had a weird experience the other night. It was a few weeks ago. I went to a bar with a friend of mine. This guy hit on her. He was like, yo, baby, on a scale from 1 to 10, you real pretty. I was like, what happened to the scale? You know, you can't just ignore the first half of your sentence and throw in something else. You can't be like, yo, girl, you must be an angel. I'm hungry. I wish I had followed that guy around the rest of the night to see what else he says. He's like, yo, you say tomato, I say hey. I was doing some Googling recently. I'm trying to find out if because I have this question about gynecologists. Do gynecologists, do they ever like pause porn and they're like, I gotta email her, you know? All right. It's nice to be doing comedy on the internet where people are actually, I don't know if you're offended now. It's nice just not doing it like live. It's like, if you're offended, I don't even know. People are very easily offended by comedy now, especially on the internet. Like, I'm Facebook friends with a lot of people I don't know just from performing around the country. One of them's a fat guy who recently posted that he had no energy, and then he got super offended because I reminded him that fat is stored energy and that technically he has a lot of it, which, you know, I'm not wrong. I don't know if you know this. If you ever meet a little person, you're supposed to call them little people, not midget. Midget's very offensive to little people. Somebody told me this right before I met a little person. It was all I could think about. I was like, don't say midget, say little person. Don't say midget, say little person. I ended up calling him a little midget, that was wrong. Uncomfortable. I got a friend of mine. I don't know if you guys know what a fleshlight is. This is it's a sex toy for men. I don't do transitions on my jokes. Just you guys probably figured that out by now. It's not a flashlight. It's a sex toy for men. It's a silicone vagina in the shape of a flashlight. It's called a fleshlight. And I bought one of these for a friend of mine, but he's super Christian, so he only fingers it, which I think is really cute. Patrick, thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
Yeah, Brett Druck, everybody. Brett Druck. As always, the tip jar is open. If you enjoyed Brett's set, I know a couple of people super chatted already and Venmo'd already. We'll read those out in a second. But if you enjoyed Brett's set, throw him a couple of bucks. That's how this works. If you want to super chat a tip to him, make sure you specify that it is for Brett, or throw us a Venmo, or a Venmo is at the top of the screen. That is a wonderful way to support him and to support the show. And that's how it works. Brett, I'm going to read out one in particular. I'll turn it over to Rachel in a second, but I want to read out one in particular that I love, which is Nathaniel Crawford threw in $2 and said, Brett, I loved your Luke Perry impersonation. This is it's not a reference to right now. It's a reference to a podcast that Brett and I did. Jarrett Berenstein, who was on the show yesterday, has a podcast called Famous Dead People, where comedians go on and pretend to be famous dead people. And Brett did a Luke Perry impression that was fucking awesome. So
it was all right. I mean, I mostly just kept going, thanks, Jared, to everything he said.
It was still fun though.
Hey, Brett, did you get that brick wall installed just for the show?
Yeah, it was really hard to get a construction team during the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah, yeah, well done. I like your commitment, man. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what you just said because my dad just called me. What happened?
It was a compliment.
Okay, thank you.
Queen Rachel, you want to read out some super chats here?
We did. We have quite a few come in. So Savannah Martin gave $10 and said, "We love Brett, but not his hugs." So I don't know.
Okay. All right. Do I have to go into that?
No.
Not if you don't want to. We had Siren of the Caspian donated. Revel gave $10, said, "Always love your stuff, Brett." Z Bunster again came through and said, "And I'm dead. Thanks, Brett."
Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm sorry.
Dave Trevino just gave $10 as well and said, "Hilarious, Brett."
Oh, thank you.
So nicely done. And we're starting to see some submissions, by the way, for our album contest. So those are coming in as well. And if anybody wants to throw a couple more bucks Brett's way, now is the time to do it. So please do that. I'm going to read off. I got a couple of Venmos that came in. So let me read those right here. Hold on. We have Rachel Snyder threw in $10 and said, "For Brett's quads," with a kissy emoji.
Wow.
Nice. Someone likes Brett's quads. And Gus Walsh threw in $2 and asked and said that my joke about Rand Paul was great. Thank you. That was a $2 joke for sure. And then
Gush is a great first name for a man, I believe.
Yeah.
Gush Walsh. Yeah, my apologies, Gush. And also said, "Can we smoke weed 6 feet away from each other?" I mean, me and Steve, not me and Rand Paul. I don't smoke, but I am definitely 6 feet away from you. Ben and Josh, since you guys smoke a lot, you guys want to smoke extra for Gus?
You don't have to ask me that.
Yeah, I'm normally super down, although I think there's a tiny chance I have coronavirus currently. I've been not feeling well for 2 days, so I'm passing on smoking right now. I did a future stream.
And by the way, both Josh and Ben are two people in my life who have been trying to get me to smoke. And I don't know, maybe we'll figure out a super chat level for one of these. Maybe if we can super chat up to like 2,500 in one chat, I'll do it. We'll see.
Yeah, because Steve, you did indicate that there's a chance you might do it. I was being pretty convincing last time, and I think you were saying, I don't know, maybe. I'm like, among friends, chilling at your house, it'll be great for creativity. It'll chill you out, and you seemed open.
Yeah, I think it's great now that I'm thinking of doing it when I'm going to be by myself, terrified of a pandemic. I think really now is the best time.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't start smoking weed till I moved to California, and it's been the best year and a half of my life. It's been amazing. So you're really missing out. Like I was an anti-drug guy for a long time, and I was fucking wrong. It's great.
By the way, I just want to point out that Bowers, the best year and a half of his life, actually started this week. So I guess that's how much he smoked. Rachel, what else we got? What else we got in the comments here?
Yeah, so we had some super chats come in. Katie Rose gave $10 and said, "Thanks. I've been following Josh and C for a long time now. I work in a grocery store, and your stuff helps me unwind from all this craziness and madness. I'm smoking with you, Josh."
Thank you.
Holy shit! And by the way,
I want to give a quick shout out to somebody here in our virtual audience. Todar Esque says that they are an emergency manager, volunteer firefighter, and EMT. So thank you so much for keeping everybody safe during this time.
Yeah,
Very
oddly enough,
incredible.
those two things now for the first time, EMTs and grocery store employees are about the same level of bravery. So we very much appreciate anyone who still has to work right now and who's keeping the rest of society going. I've definitely seen a lot of memes, about how you guys deserve to be paid more, and that is 100% true. And as soon as Libertarian Rand Paul is done, using all the government resources at his disposal, I'm sure he'll vote for a bill that will reward you guys.
Yes.
Rachel, now that I'm done dripping with sarcasm, Queen Rachel, what else we got?
Yeah, so Savannah Martin donated again. She's on fire right now. She said, "As a Christian, I'm extremely offended that you think Christian men are any good at that or even think of it."
Oh, that's for the fingering joke.
Oh, wow.
I never
proud
said that.
Jewish man right here. Just a heads up. Do we have has anything else come in?
Just in regards to the worst stuff somebody said.
Oh yeah, we've got a couple more competitors. Yeah, we got a couple
Yep.
more competitors for that. Keep throwing those in. We will read them off toward the end of the show. So if you want to compete to win albums from Bowers, how many albums do you have?
4. I have 5 at the one that got released yesterday for pre-sale. My 5th, but I have 4 from the past.
4 that you're gonna give out because the pre-sale one is not available yet. Ben, what about you?
I try to make all the jokes on my albums good, so I've got 1.
Yeah.
Well,
Ben, you act like we haven't heard your album. What are you talking about?
by the way, on that note, I have 7. But I try to write more than one joke a year. So if you guys want to compete, you will win 12 comedy albums to help get you through this pandemic. At least 4 of them are good. So if you want to win those, throw in $5 on Super Chat or Venmo and tell us the worst thing you did to spouse, girlfriend, or we'll even throw in family member. Please, legal things only. We're not asking you to confess right now. What a weird place to confess if that happens.
And also, it's time for my daily shot of health. If I can, I hope you all have your hand sanitizer at home with you.
Yeah. Which, by the way, speaking of daily things, so a couple updates on potential future guests. So Jamie Kennedy said he had so much fun with us yesterday that he wants to be our pool correspondent. So in the future, we are just going to randomly check in with Jamie Kennedy to see how things are going at his pool. So that's a thing we're going to do. Also,
and we have Ida Rodriguez is booked. Ida Rodriguez will be coming soon. Very exciting. She's on the new She Ready or the They Ready special on Netflix.
And don't miss on Tuesday, we have Arian Foster, host of a hugely successful podcast, one of the best running backs of the last 20 years. And also a damn fine musician. He's under Bobby Fino, and his music is really fucking good. He's going to join us, and hysterical comedy fan, which is great. And then Rose McGowan apologized; she couldn't make it in time for today, but she asked if we could do one tomorrow. So we're going to try to figure out if we're going to add an episode because it's worth it to talk to Rose because that would be a fascinating conversation. So
and we also booked perhaps the most famous comedian in all of Brazil, 11 million followers on Twitter. Rafina Bastos will be joining us as well, coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. So we have some amazing guests coming up. If you guys want to super chat a question for our current guests and comedians, or throw in a Venmo, or just put it in the Q&A because we'll take some of the non-super chats. We don't expect you to have to be rich to watch the show. We know a lot of people lost work. But I do want to read this one out. We got another $5 toward Brett. It says, love Brett, saw him in Woodinville, Washington last year. I was on that show and I feel hurt that I'm not mentioning that. You know what? I love Brett and I also saw him in Woodinville. So yeah. By the way, Brett, is this one of the weirdest shows you've performed in, or I mean, with the amount of breweries and wineries you've performed at, I feel like you've probably done weirder than this.
Oh yeah, no, this is completely comfortable.
I have a question for everybody in the chat, in the comments. Tell us your best survival tip or your best prep tip. What is it that you do to stay comfortable, safe, We'd like to steal your tips. Please let us know. Put your tip right in our ears, okay? Just put your tip right in our ear. What?
It's funny because I've like lived off of like almost no money for so long that I'm totally prepared for this. I could tell you any part of my daily routine and you'd be like, wow, that's really helpful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, all the toilet paper stuff was making me laugh too, because for those of us, a lot of us haven't had money forever, right? So when I didn't have any money, toilet paper was the last thing on my list if I was out of money. So am I the only person that's ever wiped my ass with a coffee filter?
Yes.
Am I really the only person? How about, have you ever cut off the sleeves of your t-shirts and just gone? Oh yeah. There was a period in my life I went straight Larry the Cable Guy because I was just cutting off t-shirt sleeves.
Wow.
I've never
sounds
wiped
more-
By the
my.
way,
This
don't
sounds
try to
more
flush
stoned.
those.
This sounds
Don't
more
flush
stoned
those.
than
Yeah, solid
more
advice.
stoned than broke.
Yeah. By the way,
Well,
and
listen,
I've never
priorities,
wiped my.
dude.
I've never wiped my ass with a coffee filter, but I have definitely taken extra toilet paper from the hotel for sure. Every time
Oh
the
yeah.
comedy condo or whatever it is, starting out my career, there were always a couple of rolls of toilet paper in the back seat of that car. And I feel like I can chart the progress of my career by not only buying nicer toilet paper, but eventually wet wipes as well. I think how much you can afford to treat your ass nicely is really a sign of how well you're doing in life.
Some headliner wipe.
Wipes are the best
Yeah.
for sure. My only significant toilet paper story that I think is worth anything is I was in Atlanta doing shows at the Laughing Skull, and Margaret Cho, my dear friend, was there, and she was shooting a TV show in Atlanta. So whenever I would go there, the Land of Comedy would open for me for the whole weekend, which was incredible. And she produced my album that weekend. We were there, the one that I'll be sending to the winner of this contest live from the Vortex. She produced it. We went out to lunch in Atlanta, and she says to me, Ben, I'm out of toilet paper at my house. I need you to do me a little favor. Do you mind going to the bathroom here and stealing 2 rolls of toilet paper for me? And I said, I could probably do that for you, Margaret, but how are you out of toilet paper? Didn't you just go to the market yesterday? And she looks at me and she goes, yeah, Margaret Cho is too gangster to buy toilet paper.
Recently, I learned what stomping the waffle is. Do you guys know stomping a waffle?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. But for anybody at home who doesn't,
I don't know. What is that?
Take a shit in the bathtub and then you run the water and then step on it until it goes down the drain.
Brett's
This
career
is
is
not a
going
sequel
great,
to
guys,
Stomping
by
the
the way.
Yard.
That is,
That's called Alabama snowshoes, I thought.
Oh,
Alabama Snowshoes is also my favorite jazz musician and or pool player.
Hey, gotta play Alabama Snowshoes. They were playing at Coachella this year.
Yeah.
I have
with
never
that-
heard a more disgusting thing in my life, and now I'll never be able to eat waffles again.
All right, with that, I saw a super chat come in from our favorite dentist, Dr. Sherwood Tucker DDS, who's been supporting the show. $5. It says, "Dude wipes rock," which I somewhat disagree with because so there are like butt wipes that are specifically marketed toward guys. So they have like packaging that's supposed to be like for guys, be like manly butt wipes. But then if you have those at your house, you look like it's as if instead of air freshener in your bathroom, you just have Axe body spray. It's not the best.
Yeah.
What makes it manly? Is there gravel on them?
What'd you say?
Is there gravel like on the wipe? Is it like that's what makes it manly?
They're double reinforced so your finger can't poke through.
Yeah. They're worried about manly fingers. Ben Gleib, you want to bring us our second line performance of the evening?
I've got the second.
That Bauer should do it.
Bauer's
I've got
doing
the second. Yes. Coming next. Also, another very good friend of mine. He was actually part of our party last night. We had a drinking party last night. He was on there. He now lives in Toronto. He was in Chicago for a while. He's from Kansas originally. He's from the Boston Comedy Festival, and he has an album out called White Noise. Give it for my good friend Sam Norton, everybody. Give Sam a big hand.
Hey everyone, welcome. Man, it's been crazy, and I'm so surprised by this whole conversation because I've been shitting in the shower and eating toenails for survival. So this is fun. And thanks for having me at my own goddamn house. I appreciate that. This is where the party happens. This wife knows what I'm talking about. She comes all the time. Yeah, all right. Is this thing on? No? All right. Here we go, guys. Hey, what are we doing? We having fun? Are we day drunk? I am. I do have a wife, contrary to my voice and general demeanor. I think I need to tell that to the internet. I somehow have a gayer outfit on than Bowers, so that's fun. I look like I'm going to pull a dick off of screen or a rabbit, and wow, there we go. Okay. There's Club Comedy Bin. It's on the internet for the last 40 years. All right. What a ridiculous thing. I am married to a Chinese woman. And thank you, Josh. I knew you were going to like that one. I can tell Josh likes Chinese women because he loves tiny hands. So we got that in common. I am married to and like she's made me realize how much of a stereotype I am of like I live here in Toronto now, and I didn't realize how American I was until I moved here, and it's very apparent. Like I'm loud and opinionated and illiterate, and I fit all the state. I mean, Jesus Christ! Even my wife was made in China. That's pretty patriotic. You know what I mean? And I got a baby. I don't know who knows this of my friends and stuff, but I got my wife pregnant recently, and as parents, we decided to keep the next one. So that's good news, right? Choice. I'm kidding. I actually have a baby girl. That joke is no longer should be around. Just like, anyways. I have a little baby girl, and she's unfortunately half me, but she's got she's like half Chinese, half white trash. So she's a ranch dumpling. It's real cute. And I'm worried of like how to, I don't know, like I'm a new dad, I know I could teach her how to like talk and crawl and poop, but at some point I'm gonna have to teach her morals, and I'm kind of weirded out by that because I don't know, like in our day and age, what's right and what's wrong anymore. A perfect example of this, before all this madness happened, one of the last shows I did was in Alabama because my career's on fucking fire. And so I did my show. I get done at the club. I'm going back to the hotel. It's like 2 a.m., but I stop at a gas station. I'm filling up, and I start to walk in. Okay. Now, right when I walk into the gas station, this good old boy's coming out. And when I mean good old boy, I mean like he's 6'6", 350 pounds. He's got like cut off sleeves from a flannel shirt, overalls. He's got a hat on, baseball cap on, that's half camo, half Confederate flag. He looked like every dude that beat me up growing up in Kansas, just like, get out of here, you liberal queer. I'm like, I'm going to Canada, right? And so looking at this guy, now here's the thing, I know how I present, right? I look like a little bitch boy, but I grew up in a white trash big family, so I don't just back down. Like I'm a little pit bull or chihuahua or what, like I start fights I can't finish. You know what I mean? Like that's my So I'm staring at this dude, right? And I'm walking and I'm like, I ain't gonna take his shit. I know he's gonna say something to get under my skin. He's gonna say something homophobic or racist or whatever. So I start getting myself jacked up with adrenaline just to fight him. I'm like, yeah, I want him to say something. I'm gonna knock your dick in the dirt. Getting jacked, right? And right when I get up to the door, he opens the door for me and holds it, and I'm like, well, that's nice. Damn it, son of a bitch. Didn't like it. I didn't let that faze me because I could tell he was still gonna say something. So I looked him right in his eyes while I was walking by, like with my mean mug, and like, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say, bitch? Say it, right? He just looks down at me and he goes, hey man, it's a cool vest. I'm thinking about getting me one of those. I was like, oh my God. Wow. Like, I wear this all the time. This isn't some hipster ironic look. I genuinely think I look like a cute dapper dandy, and someone noticed. You know what I mean? Like, it was. I went from like fuck you to maybe fuck you. I don't know. That's weird. Married, and I've never questioned my sexuality, and here I am doing it at 2 a.m. at a gas station in Alabama. Like, I don't know. He's big, cuddly. Maybe I'm into bears. I guess. I don't know. But that's not even the weirdest part of this whole situation, right? He got into my head, so I was so jacked up with fight adrenaline, I didn't know how to respond, and he was like waiting for. So the first thing that came to my mind was just from the ether, right? He's like, "Hey, think about getting me one of those," and I looked at him and I said, "You can have mine." That's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever said. Just offered a strange man at a gas station my clothes. He didn't think I was gay before. Clearly, I am now. Like, I just, hey, let's do this, buddy. Like, it was so strange. And yet, even with through all of this, he was still like able to one-up his charm, which I didn't think was possible. I said that weird shit, like, you could have mine, right? And he looked down at me and he just went, "Sorry, buddy, I don't think that six-pack's gonna fit over this keg." And I was like, holy shit, what? Oh, I'm glad we're at a gas station. Fill me up, you know what I'm saying? And that's the only story I wanted to tell you guys. Now let's get back to drinking. Can I get comfortable? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Sam, I have a question for you. That was a hilarious set. Please, of course, super chat a tip to Sam right now, or on the Venmo on the upper right of your screen if you'd like to throw him a couple dollars to thank him for what he did. Sam, when you were in Alabama, did you try the waffles?
Did I try the waffle? Alabama, what they're doing. But yeah, their chocolate tastes different down there.
By the way, apparently, for anyone, if anybody, no matter what you look like, who you are, where you're from, if you want to fuck Sam, you just need to compliment his vest. That's all it takes.
Hey, you know what that's all about.
Sam, you look like a gay paperboy from the 50s.
Gosh, you look like a gay paperboy from today.
Hey, Sam, I have a question for you.
Please. You know what? I don't like that the other comedians had no questions for Brett, but all for me, which just means you guys are going to shit on me for an hour. I've been in green rooms enough. I know how this works.
I have a sincere question.
A brick wall. He didn't put one on his TV.
Real question. Where did you find a shirt that looks like it's under a black light under regular light?
For Brett,
really, honestly, I just got it from one of my black friends.
If you want us to do a question for Brett too, Brett, what does it feel like looking like a very emaciated Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
What does it feel like not being able to finish that, Ben?
Yeah, what does it feel like looking like a Ben Gleib having a stroke?
I like how Ben has been buffering himself now.
Well, he's got the blow-up doll there, so he may as well start.
No doubt, baby.
By the way, is that open on the bottom?
Sam, my question is that a tube TV? Isn't your wife a doctor? What the fuck is happening?
Wow. That
way to kill the energy powers.
Yeah. Oh, burn!
Is that not a tube TV? It looks like a tube TV.
That's a flat screen.
Oh, is it? My bad. It's just so small.
Anyways,
yeah. If you guys have a super chat that is a much funnier burn for Sam than that,
with Palace.
Yeah. If anybody wants to throw in a super chat or a Venmo to tip Sam Norton, now is the time. Also, just because I feel left out. So here, I'm going to change that.
I love that. I love it.
All right, Queen Rachel, do we have anything coming in the comments? Questions, super
We
chats?
did. We had quite a few come in. So Scott Norton actually just has a comment. This is just like home. Everyone's taking a shit on Sam.
What a coincidental last name he has.
Yeah, no, that's my brother. We used to shit on each other literally because it's called the Kansas waffle.
Yeah.
We had Revel give $10. Wait, your wife is made in China. I think you and Ben need to chat.
I don't know what that refers to, but thanks for the $10.
I think they mean this blow-up doll, which let me check where it's made.
See, nice.
It's made in China. It's made in China.
Only is that much funnier once you explain it. It's actually more racist. So thanks for one-upping it.
Yeah, Rachel, what else we got?
We had Z Bunster coming in again, $10. Sam, those pesky, polite Alabamians. Thank you. And then Don't Cry had said the brick wall gave up. His, TV just stopped working.
I got it.
I love that even the brick wall was like, I'm out of here. There's no fucking way. I don't want to watch the rest of this set. By the way, that brick wall on Sam's TV, still better than a lot of those fake brick walls at comedy clubs. You ever lean against one of those fucking things and realize it's paper?
Yeah. Have you ever
leaned against one of those back walls, honestly, and not knowing it wasn't steady?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that is embarrassing.
Yeah.
I always like when I'm at a club like that to just point out the seam and the screws that put up that brick wall.
Yeah. I love the idea that there was a time where like comedy clubs were like, well, people won't find it funny unless it's brick.
How are they going to get the jokes?
How's the comic? He was all right, but the wall was too smooth. I went into it.
Yeah. That's on the Yelp review, right? Be like, great comics, excellent service, great food. Wall was way too smooth. I'm not going back. Although half of those brick walls are smooth because it's just fucking wallpaper.
Yeah.
So.
In defense of brick walls, they are comforting because any busy background, if you're bombing, it sucks that you're doing worse than the wall.
Hey, you ever perform at like the punchline or something like that, where or the old Wiley's wall, where it's like if you really suck, you could just stop and look at the wall and they'll be distracted by that.
Like the House of Comedy in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you could talk about that wall forever.
Yeah. Do we have Rachel? Do we have anything more in the questions or comments?
There's some more coming in with the contest as far as what we did poorly, I guess, to a spouse. But there was earlier, Nathaniel Crawford gave $2 and had a survival tip. He said, "Don't do what the crowds are doing."
Oh, that is. I'm not sure if you're saying like in terms of people going out right now, or you're looking at the other survival tips in the YouTube chat and was like, "Fuck this shit, no."
And what kind of tip? What kind of vague ass tip is that? That is some hoard the information for yourself.
He's like, when everyone else is running away from the explosion, run towards the explosion. No, that
thing of just like stay the fuck off the beach. Like you've seen those videos of the people who, and even in LA, where LA is fairly quarantined. I keep seeing things where like they'll share in the subreddit or something, and it'll be like there's a full 5-on-5 basketball game going on. Like who the fuck?
I know.
Yeah, this isn't like a half day from school. Like this is like we need to not die. They're like, yeah, but can I not die after I play this game? Is that?
It's like that's so ridiculous. Obviously, keep your pickup games to 3-on-3.
Right, you can't have 10 people.
Well, actually, what bothered me the first week was all these open micers that kept having open mics. I'm like, guys, you're not even stop it. What are you doing?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh my God.
You can put your ego on hold for 2 weeks. Jesus Christ. Stop doing open mics in front of 12 people. FaceTime each other.
Yeah.
Let's go.
One guy messaged me. I had a guy on Instagram message me when I talked about this stream and how, you know, we're having the ability for comedians to come and actually get paid and perform. And a guy messaged me on Instagram and said, what about open micers? We've lost our livelihood. I'm like, what the fuck live? Do you know what the word livelihood means? Yeah, you know, we get paid in ego, and we've lost that completely. So, like, we've lost the ability to pay to practice at something. This sucks.
Also reminds me, Bowers, do you think you'll ever get to a place where it's actually appropriate to wear a tuxedo jacket?
Wait, Gleib, did you mean a place in his career, or has he ever been in an establishment?
I think both.
Either.
Hey, Ben, I have been married twice. So, yes, I've been to times where it's been appropriate. But
And at that point, he still didn't wear pants. Now, Rachel, I think we're gonna do the contest now because after the contest, Josh is gonna tell us the most fucked up thing he's done, and then we are gonna have a set from special guest Josh Wolf. So
Yes, that's the surprise. Josh Wolf will be our third comedian today, everybody.
If you have not super chatted yet or Venmo'd to enter into this contest to win 12 comedy albums. And by the way, our favorite dentist, I don't know if you got the message from Rachel, you won yesterday. So we will be sending those off to you. Make sure to give your information. So Rachel, what do we have?
Yeah, so first, the Rockin' Donkey gave a couple bucks and just wanted to comment saying, reading some of these contest entries disturbs me. And so to get into these disturbing entries, we've got, so first, the Rockin' Donkey, my BFF, said, I made my wife watch Better Off Dead.
Well, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
that's a solid movie.
Unless you were like, I made my wife watch Better Off Dead and told her that I was looking for ideas. Like, that's a little more fucked up.
We've got Campbell Reddy gave New Zealand $10 and said, I put hair removal cream on my father's head while he was sleeping when I was 9 because he made me cut my hair. I burned his skull and screwed its chance of growing back.
Holy shit.
No.
Wow. Solid.
I know the phrase scorch the earth, but it doesn't usually mean actually scorching something. Holy shit.
Solid.
I think it's worse that her father was her spouse, but that's fucking weird.
Yeah, that was the contest. Oh, I said family member is okay. Family member is
Oh, my
fine.
bad.
All right, so far that's in the lead. What else we got?
Our favorite dentist, Dr. Sherwood Tucker, came in with $20 and said, as my wife was eating the sandwich that I made for her, she asked me what all that dirt was under my fingernails. I said, we are out of TP, so it must be brownies.
Oh, shit. But so far, making your father permanently bald is still in the lead. So,
and then the last entry came from Razor, $10, and he said, okay, she deserved it, so please don't hate me, Queen Rachel. I filled up a condom, I glued it shut, I stapled it to the back of my girlfriend's jacket, and turned off the alarm so she hurried to work with a tail.
That's
I
pretty
must
solid.
say,
Pretty
there was a
solid.
lot of comments back and forth with this. We did confirm that he filled it up with glue. So
it's glue. Okay, that's.
Yeah.
I was about to say because you can't leave out that detail. You cannot leave out that detail. So holy shit, I don't know. All right, let's hosts. Let's vote. Bowers, what do you think wins?
I'm still going. Nah, I think tail's pretty funny. I'm going tail. Condom tail to work. That's not.
I vote tail. That is pretty creative. I give a lot of creativity points to somebody who also wants their wife to get fired, apparently.
Yeah. Well, my vote doesn't matter. I wouldn't have even broken the tie, though, because I also vote tail, partially because you were an adult when you did that shit. Like, you can't even be like, oh, I was 9. You were like a fully or I hope so, because your girlfriend had a job at the time. So I hope that you were an adult. So that wins. Was that Razor, Rachel?
It was Razor. Yep, that was
Razor. Razor is the winner. So Razor, Rachel will message you for your contact info. We will send you a zip with all 12 of our albums. Ben's, which is carefully artisan crafted, which is why there's only one. And with that, Ben, can we sorry. So Josh, what is your worst? Can you beat tail?
Well, yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Here's the deal. Like, it's just different categories on what you mean, like, worse. Like, I can tell you what my favorite was, but I don't think that's what. Okay, you want to know what the favorite was?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of my favorite things to do to people in general is to make them think something bad or dangerous or important is happening, and they turn the corner and it's me doing something stupid, right? So yeah.
Is this whole pandemic a Josh Wolf joke? Is this a whole joke?
I wish. I wish. Okay, so I used to do a show on Discovery Channel where it was Naked and Afraid. It was their after show, Naked After Dark. And one of the things that I made sure that the network, they were like, what are we going to do to make it interesting? I said, I want to make sure that I eat whatever they eat on the show. So as gross as they eat on the show, I want to eat that live on our show. So on one of the shows, I ate goat's brain, cow brain, and one of sheep brain maybe. The cow brain was a little undercooked. I was driving home from the show. And as I'm pulling into my driveway, I was like, because I started to feel like, I got some problems. It was building up, and it was like, I'm sure everybody's heard that term, touching cotton. I was touching cotton, right? It was bad.
God.
Yeah.
I was touching coffee filter at the time.
Yeah. It was touching arm sleeve. Exactly. So I pull into the driveway, and one of those things where you pull in the driveway and you would sit in your car for a little bit. You're like, this is going to pass. This too shall pass. It's going to pass. I started to sweat. I'm like, this is not going to pass. And I'm not going to make it inside. So I run around to the side of my house. And I lean up against the house, and I pull down my pants. And I go, wait a second. And I call Beth. And I'm like, babe, you got to come out here. You got to come out here. You got to come out here. She goes, I'm in the shower. I go, come out here. It's really an emergency. It's an emergency. Come out here. And she goes, what do you need? I go, you need to bring some tape, and you need to bring a phone. And she was like, okay, I'll be right out. She runs out, guys, naked, because she thinks I'm in trouble. And I just wanted her to take a picture of me leaning up against the house, taking a shit. So when she turned the corner, she's dripping with water. She's got tape and a phone. She thinks I'm dying. And I go, take a picture, take a picture. And she was like, oh, what the fuck? And, and walked back in. And she said to me, though, she goes, you better hope you never call me when you're dying for real, because I'm never coming again, which makes sense. But that was my favorite one, because to get her out of the house, right out of the shower, naked, because she thought I was dying, with a phone and some tape, just to see me shitting against the wall. Top notch, right? That's top notch.
Two things, Josh.
Yeah.
One, I love that in that story, Bethany was the one that was naked and afraid.
Well done, buddy. Well done.
Thank you. And two, I do have a guest bed if you need to crash once you get divorced. So with that, Ben,
I have two comments also.
Yeah.
Or two questions also. One, what was the tape for?
The tape was just to make it a bit different. Like, I wanted her scrambling around inside and thinking things were getting really bad because she couldn't find any tape. I wanted her to panic, like, tape, where's the fucking tape? Why do I need tape? So she was, when I got inside, Ben, she even said, she was like, and you had me looking for fucking tape? And it was
by the way, Josh, if you do have spare tape, Ben does have a new toy. So
sorry, Steve, I'm sure it comes with an emergency patch. But also But also, I
Yes.
love that she ended it with a line that must have been true in more ways than one. She says, "I am never coming again."
Hey, Josh, I don't know why your wife wants you to look away during sex. It's weird.
Because I was wearing that fucking shirt you have on.
On that note, let me introduce our final stand-up comedian for the show today. This man is the host of Controlled Chaos with Josh Wolf on his YouTube channel, a very fun live show he does, not during apocalypse times. He is one of the best comedians in the country. Please welcome Josh Wolf, everybody.
So, just so you know, I, like Sam, am not wearing pants, but I will not. So I'm not standing up. I haven't worn pants in a little bit, but I do want to say, Brett, you mentioned gender reveal parties, and I have to tell you, I got invited to my very first one, and this is a little off topic, but I got invited to my very first one, and I just want to let everybody know, if you're thinking about having one of those, nobody gives a fuck what the gender your baby. We're all gonna assume it's gonna be a boy or a girl, right? Nobody gives a fuck. And you know what else? Beth was like, "Well, we have to go because you know it's your friend." I'm like, "Not anymore. Fuck that guy. He should know better. You invite me to a dumbass. I gotta buy you a gift. What? Here's the thing. Look, I'm not going to a gender reveal party. I will go to a race reveal party. That would be fun." If you were like, "I don't know if it's coming out black or white," and you were like, "Yeah, let's see," you know what I mean? That I'm watching. Okay, so I do want to tell you guys a story that happened about 2 weeks ago on a plane. So it was just at the beginning of the whole Corona, right? And look, guys, even then, when we didn't know how bad it was going to get, I don't want whatever's coming out of your fucking mouth. I don't want, right? So this dude is sitting on the plane right next to me, like this. He's going mouth like that. I looked at him and I go, "Hey, man, are you going to cover your mouth?" Because I grew up in a family with 4 boys, so I'm going to ask you. I'm not going to be think about it, but I'm going to ask. And he said to me, he goes, "Well, are you afraid of the coronavirus?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Are you not? And he goes, "No, it's just like the flu, man." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want the flu either, dude. I don't want the flu either." And he goes, "I'm not sick." And he said, "I'm not sick. My throat is just dry." I go, "Hey, dude, that's what happens when you're sick. Like, I've never been sick and been like, I have such a high fever and aches and my throat is so moist. It's pouring down my throat right now." No, man, that's what happens when you're sick, you know? But he was adamant that he wasn't going to cover his mouth. So here's something you need to know about me if you're flying next to me on a plane. If you see me on a plane, I want you to know that there is a 100% chance that the night before I ate something that I know makes me fun. Now, not because I'm going to go up there and set the plane on fire. That's not it at all. But like Steve, Ben, you guys fly a lot. Planes smell. Everybody is farting. And if everybody is farting, I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to be the only guy who doesn't bring bullets to a gunfight. You know what I'm saying? Like, if everybody's at the OK Corral, like, the truth of the matter is, I like smelling me more than you. We all like our own brand a little bit. I mean, it's like opening up a bottle of wine. You're like, okay, you know, you like it. You like your own. So, and here's another thing. I'm not eating food that makes me have gas, that doesn't smell. You know, the kind that's loud, that doesn't smell? That's like a non-alcoholic beer. I don't know what the point of those parts are. So, I eat food that makes me have these kinds of, you know the kind that hurt a little bit when they come out? You know the kind that goes, and you know the kind that,
I can't do
it's
it.
like, it's like a paper cut. You're like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like it's like a like a hot razor blade, like a you know what I mean? It's like a knife fight, you know. So I was like, okay, this guy's gonna get a, you know, and so also, you know, when you're in public, if you fart, you're supposed to pretend like it wasn't you. On a plane, you're supposed to be the first guy that goes for the air, you know. You're supposed to pretend, but not with this guy. I let one, and I just fucking stared right at him. And so he started to cough, and his mouth was already open. So half the joke was all, yeah, you know what I mean? Half the joke was already working, you know? So he goes like this. He goes, and he looks at me and he goes, was that you, man? I go, yeah. And he goes, are you sick? I go, no. Don't worry about it. My asshole's just dry. So, but I will tell you one small secret of mine. Ready? Okay. One of my biggest dreams, because I fly all the time, is to really gas up the back of the plane so badly at one point. I just want the captain to come on and go, is your captain speaking? Understand it's getting a little stale back there. So we're going to go ahead and crack a window. I knew we were doing 500. Hold on to your hats, but yeah, I just want to share a little story with you guys. I appreciate everybody listening. You know, you'll probably hear that on stage sometime in the next couple of months.
Josh, also, so
Josh got a guitar in his hand suddenly.
Oh, that's for when this goes. Don't worry, we're not playing it.
Yeah, if you want to super chat, throw in the tip jar is now open. And before we get to the super chats that came in, while some more are coming in, we have a couple questions from our live in studio on video audience. So Taylor, get ready to switch to some of these folks. So Todoresk says you have a question. What do you got?
Yep. So I really would love to see more comedians do Funko Pops. And so right now, Gabriel Iglesias is the only one. And so I was wondering, for the comedians, which other comedian would you like to see, and what outfit or pose do you think would be perfect for one? You know, like I'd love to see like Lisa Lampanelli in her older style, and then have like a chase where she lost weight. So what do you guys think?
What I love about that is that you're like, which one of you didn't even humor us with the which one of you wants to do a Funko. You're like, you guys aren't even wearing pants. They're not gonna use you guys.
Well, I
what
think
is
that
that?
would be great with a
what does that mean?
A Funko Pop is it's the kind of doll. Here, can you hold it up closer to the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold it up closer to the screen.
It's basically an action figure essentially, but it's
a very specific type with a very, very large head. So mine would just have to be in regular proportion. So I would love to see. I would love to see the classics. I would love to see one of a Carlin or a Dick Gregory. It would be incredibly ironic to get a Bill Hicks one, considering how anti-marketing he was.
Yeah.
To get Bill Hicks merch would be hilarious. Yeah, I mean those are the three I'd love. Or a Mitch Hedberg one with its head down and its eyes closed.
Definitely.
Very good. I'd like to see a Bill. I'd like a Bill Burr one in that crowd in Philadelphia. We was screaming at him, calling him terrible. Whatever fucking pose that would be.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Then we get
I would love one O'Neill.
I would love a Carrot Top one that comes with a bunch of Mr. Potato Head style interchanging click in parts.
Nicely done. All right, and then we have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I'd like to see a Michael Richards one that's like sweating.
Put the Michael Richards one next to the Chris Rock one and just see what happens.
I'd like to see a Bill Cosby one where the packaging's behind bars and it's called Funko Pudding Pop.
All right, and then we've got a couple more coming in on the video before we get to the last bunch of super chats. First of all, Katie says that she super chatted under Katie Rose that I should smoke. We're not taking them quite yet. If we do that, we'll do a very special episode to see how much we raise for that.
Oh my God.
And then
Get Steve Stone would be such a fun show to get. Like if we had a telethon to get Steve Stone would be so fucking fun. I'm not kidding.
Smoke-a-thon, man. Let's do it.
To get $2,500 to get Steve Stone. I would personally.
Can we do that and book like all of like the most like stoner comics just so they can make fun of me for doing it wrong? Because I'm sure there's no way I would know what I'm doing. I would be coughing like that guy next to Josh on the plane.
Steve, don't even be nervous about the prospect. Your first time smoking, there's only like a 40% chance that you die.
Well, I appreciate that. The same odds when you go on stage.
Oh, damn!
Wow.
By the way, if I was high, I wouldn't be able to be this quick. That's what I'm afraid of.
It makes me quicker, man. Weed makes me quicker. Ask Josh about that shit.
Hey, Steve,
Yeah, that's
have you
true.
ever thought
You guys
about
are both
attacking hecklers?
What?
You ever thought about attacking hecklers?
Yeah, I've thought about it here and there. By the way, Sam, my vest inspiration. Yeah.
Steve, just by the way, think about it. You're already super quick with heckler responses. Imagine if weed made you faster, dude. It could be next level.
Yeah. By the way, I appreciate that because I really thought you were going to a burn. I really thought you were going to be like, imagine if you were also good at comedy. So I put myself in my head way worse than you did just then.
That's because you're so.
I would never fun of somebody who has no material.
It's Mr. One
Do a telethon to get me to smoke. All the proceeds are going to be donated to Ben's writers. So, all right.
If you were quicker, and then like you would respond before the heckler even heckled, and people would have no idea what you were talking about.
You're like, listen to this guy, and then just know it's like what? You're like it's like Minority Report. I can already tell. So
You'd just be Bowers.
Yeah. All right. So we have another from our video audience. So Carrie M, do you want to ask this on screen or do you want me to just read it off?
I'll ask it.
All right. What do you got?
I just basically wanted to know that other than having to postpone tours and being on quarantine, what is the next most frustrating thing you've experienced caused by the coronavirus pandemic?
Oh, I have one immediately. The rash of adults now dancing with their children on TikTok.
That's the adults getting in the way.
Sam, quit projecting. So no, the amount, but that is a system of something else. Just the idea of like, there are a lot of us who make content for a living, and we've been practicing this, and we know what we're doing. And the amount of people who have never done sketch comedy before suddenly doing sketch, the amount of people who are putting quote unquote stand up out there without an audience or writing it. It's I mean, I know you guys are bored, but holy fuck, I'm gonna be way more okay when my neighbor stops practicing piano for the first time.
Yes. For me, it's a tie between two. It's exactly that, Steve, that I don't think during the global pandemic is necessarily the time for somebody to try to break into stand-up comedy. That seems a little selfish.
Yes.
I've already got thousands of comedians trying to find work that already were doing it before. Don't use this as your big break necessarily.
Oh my God, I got a Facebook message.
Ben, are you attacking me personally? Because I don't like that at all.
I got a Facebook message from someone saying, "Hey, I've really been thinking about doing an open mic lately. What's your advice?" And my advice was, wait 6 months, you fuck. What are you talking about? Don't go out.
Secondly, it is just certain realities that you have to become aware of now, like certain thoughts that pop into your head that are dark that you wouldn't have to ever think of before. Like now, honestly, just in this new reality, I'll never be able to get out of my head the visual of Josh Wolf's toenails under a pillow.
If you want to get a different visual stuck in your head that is worse than that, you could rewind to when Sam stood up. That one's going to be with all of us for quite some time.
I took my pants off after Josh talked about his toenail clippings. There's a reason for it. Can I say something real kind of serious real quick? For the people, like, I know you guys were shitting on like people who play in piano and being creative in this time. I wish that people who are wanting to do stand-up comedy and sketch in this time of quarantine, if you're thinking about doing it and watching this, I want you to take a real hard like look at it and maybe just take a day and all like go to the mall or the beach or somewhere where other people are and fucking die.
Actually, will say though, I was a little harsh. I will say I do encourage people to create right now. I don't necessarily encourage you to make it public until you've tried more than once.
Of course.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying too. Of course, invite your friends and do a Zoom or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But don't like broadcast to the world. Hey, I'm doing a live comedy show. Everybody, come and join my first time on stage.
Yeah, have you all seen the video Madonna put out today from her bathtub?
No.
My fucking God. These are the things. She's in her bathtub naked, right? In what looks like a bathtub filled with milk and rose petals. Okay?
Yeah, you said her bathtub.
Talking about how we're all the same and this coronavirus has got us all on equal ground and I'm like you and you're like me. First of all, she's had so much plastic surgery. She looks like Sam's wife. But it has to see her face right now. I was like, is she calling me? Well, I mean, where is she doing this from? And she looks like she's in a bathtub of milk and rose petals, and she's huddled up like, we're all one person. We're all the same. That's the kind of shit. People who are so out of touch with reality and who are so separated from the rest of us think that this is the time from the house on the hill that you're going to connect with us. That bothers me the most. I'm just like you shit. Fuck you.
Well, Josh, in fairness to Madonna, she's the exact demographic that certainly cannot be leaving the house right now.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard she's doing a new tour of the different rooms in her house called the Target Susceptibility Tour.
It's so weird. It's so weird to hear that English accent come out of that Asian face. I couldn't believe it.
I agree.
I will.
So can we please talk about the irony of Josh saying like, how dare you try to relate with us? What do you mean us? You've said the weirdest shit I've ever heard, Coffee Filter Man. He's related to you even on this fucking chat.
Right now, I guarantee you that I am not the only person watching this right now who has wiped their ass with a coffee. Now, shitting on the side of the house and having your wife come out, that might be a little bit.
I also love Josh's completely faulty logic in that whole thing. I couldn't make it inside the house to get to the bathroom in time, but I did have the time to pause and have my wife go on a scavenger hunt for false items.
Don't you know, Ben, laughter delays shitting. So all he had to do was make himself laugh.
I was also already pooping when she came out.
And also,
specify the tape.
I'm just curious.
No, just tape.
Steve, if laughter delays shitting, is that why there's always a huge line for the bathroom during your shows?
Oh God!
I deserve every minute of that. I absolutely shots.
Steve,
hey, how dare you burn a redhead? Do you know how susceptible we are?
If it's only because they're peeing their pants from laughter, I would like to be on this show again.
The difference is Ben's shows don't have any lines for anything.
Oh shit! Ben, what you're noticing at my shows are people. So
Love that Chris Bowers is trying to jump into this battle. Bowers has more Bowers has got more tuxedo jackets than fans. Crowd Bowers ever performed to was when he put all of his tuxedo jackets on his dining room chair.
Bowers looks like his diet is just drink tickets.
I can hear everybody but Ben. I know he's scored on me, but I don't know what he's saying. It's fucking scary.
Oh my god!
No, I'm just saying compliments, dude.
He's just been introducing people for the last 2 minutes.
All right, Queen Rachel, did we miss anything super chat wise before we wrap up here?
A lot of super chats.
And before we do, quick Venmo shout out. Haley Baker threw us $5 on Venmo and said, "Thank you for continuing to entertain." We appreciate that, Haley. And just so you guys know, this is also really important to us. I mean, I have more fun on these, than I do any other part of the day. You guys are absolutely wonderful. Anytime my close friends and I can get together and completely shit on each other, we very much appreciate that we have an audience for that. So sorry, Queen Rachel, what do we got?
Yeah, so we've got Shelby Perkins gave $5 and said, "Josh, I love your comedy. I missed you and Steve touring together. Do you think you'll tour together again?"
We definitely could.
Yeah, absolutely. Once a lot of theaters go out of business, maybe we'll buy a couple. Tour in those.
Revel gave $10 and said, "Josh, you had me in stitches the whole time. Thanks."
Thank
we had Dr. Sherwood Tucker again gave another $20 for the show. Razor gave another $5 and said, "Can we do endorsements we'd turn down again? Like fun size rubbers. Fun size rubbers. You're not small, you're concentrated."
We should do that as one of the contests. Absolutely. Which we talked about that on another episode, but we should do a full one of those.
Were there any more tips for survival in the chat, Rachel? Any prep tips?
No, none that I saw or none that were super chatted that came through.
Okay.
We had.
If you want to extend the life of your razor and not buy more razors, you just have to blow on it and dry it off. Take like a towel, go against the blades. Go with the blades. And then the moisture on them will not corrode them and create little nicks so that they keep cutting smooth.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Also,
love that.
Also, if you want to feel like you have extra time in the day, just watch Ben or Bowers' set, and then it'll just. I'm
thanks
still
for
mad
leaving
at
me
that
out,
last
bud.
one. Sorry. No, Sam, I can't take a swing at you. I couldn't reach.
We're all the same height on the internet, prick.
Sam, you're leaning over, and most of you is still in frame. So
I'm 4 feet closer to the camera, and still my head is as small or as big as yours.
It's the ego that developed from people coming to my shows. So sorry, Rachel. What else you got?
The last two. Okay. Shirata Red Tempest sent $10 and said, "Just wanted to thank you guys for streaming on a weekend so I can watch and enjoy some of my favorite comedians. And please ask Chad Daniels to be a part of this."
Yeah, we love Chad. That'd be great.
And then lastly, the Rockin' Donkey again, $2 and said, "Question for Steve. Marry, fuck, kill. Oprah, Roseanne, or Carrot Top?"
Oh shit. Okay, and I'm happy to have any of the other comics join and help me out with this one. Oprah, Roseanne, or Carrot Top?
You have to marry Oprah. Think of the
100%. You got to marry Oprah for the money. You have to kill Roseanne for society. And then you have to. Well, and then I guess I would fuck Carrot Top, but I would just want to see what props he's gonna use.
Yeah.
I mean, you could really just stick your dick in one of his props. I think that counts.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's too steroided. He doesn't have any working holes anymore anyway. So
I would like to suggest a different answer for that. I would say,
yes.
yeah, you probably have to kill Roseanne in this scenario. I think you probably just fuck Oprah, and then when she's sleeping, you just rifle through her drawers, grab some money. But I feel like during a post-apocalyptic time, Carrot Top who you marry, because just think of the supplies. So
yeah. What if he has no survival supplies but insists on carrying a trunk of props everywhere? Like you're just like, we got to run for it. And he's like, have you seen these two things combined?
Yeah.
But in this Fuck, Marry, Kill, they said or. They said Oprah, Roseanne, or Carrot Top. So you have to pick one of them to do all three of those things too.
Okay, still Oprah.
Yeah,
me too. Yeah.
I also love the idea that Ben's like rifle through her drawers, like she's just got a spare million laying around. She probably does.
I thought he meant her pants.
Yeah. And with that, Rachel, are we caught up with all the super chats?
Krista just sent in $10 and said, I've been reading about this comedy social club all week, but I've been working full time through the shutdown, so I've missed watching until now. This has been great.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Ben, want to give us a rundown of some of our future guests to remind people what we got coming up?
Absolutely. I also sadly noticed that Josh Wolf touched his eye with his miniature hand. And so there's probably some chance now of some kind of cross-pollination. Josh, one question before I run down the guests. Do you put the miniature hand on so when you masturbate your penis looks big?
Yeah. I do actually. It just feels like somebody else is doing it.
Do you ever, Josh? Do you ever put more than one of those on different fingers just to feel like you're having a threesome?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I masturbate, what I'll do is I'll put a ski mask on and I'll punch myself in the stomach with my left hand, so it feels like I'm getting robbed. I like that.
On that note, coming up on our show, we have Arian Foster on Tuesday. We've got Kate Quigley on Wednesday. We've got Chris Porter on Friday. Greg Proops on Saturday. Ida Rodriguez on Sunday. And then on April 3rd, Rafinha Bastos. And of course, 3 comedians on each show on top of that. So please make sure you join us. Please tell your friends. We're trying to spread the word out there to give people. I mean, even the Tonight Show has no audience. The Daily Show's got no audience. The Social Distancing Social Club, we got a live audience. This feels like you're watching real live stand-up. So please join us and spread the word. And thanks for being here with us during these wild times. We can at least laugh for an hour or so and then be sad the rest of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, let's do some plugs. Let's do some plugs. Brett, where can people find out more about you?
You can get me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, Brett Druck, at Brett Druck, BRETT, and youtube.com/ghettobretto. Yeah, that's it. You can find me on all of those.
All right, excellent. Sam Norton, what about you?
All of it is at iSamComedy on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm a real fucking whore, so anywhere I'm there. Also, I got my comedy album out, White Noise. It's real good, so go listen to it and then give me a bad review.
Excellent. Josh Wolf.
Josh Wolf Comedy on socials, and then just find me on YouTube. I'm putting new stuff out, and then we did a parody for the that Imagine song that Gal Gadot Gail with the that one.
Yeah,
we did a parody we did a parody Imagine song. Go check that out on my IG page. It was on TMZ and 2Fab today, so it's starting to take off.
Awesome, that's great. Quarantine, where can they find out more about you guys?
At Bowers Comedy on Instagram and Twitter, at Bowers Comedy on Snapchat, where you can see me get progressively drunk every night. Also, my new album pre-sale, Chris Bowers' Unpopular Opinions, was pre-saled yesterday. Go to Amazon, just search Chris Bowers, or if you go to my Facebook page, there's a link there. So yeah, buy my new album. I don't have any money.
Ben.
You can follow me on social media, Twitter and IG, especially at Ben Gleib. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel /BGleib, BGLEIB. You can also watch my hour special on YouTube. It's on a different channel, but it's called Neurotic Gangster. And my podcast, Last Week on Earth. I summarize the world every week, sometimes with celebrity guests. This week, Miles Jobrani. We cover news, politics, pop culture, trends, weird shit. We do it all. Please subscribe everywhere you find your podcast.
Excellent. And a couple last minute super chats, and also a comment came in. Carrie, part of our live audience, wrote about good to know Brett on my last razor. So that tip was received well. And then hopefully this is a completely separate thought. Said that this live stream helps with my depression so much. I hope that is not tied to the I'm on my last razor. So if anyone's feeling that way, if you could dull those razors, we would really appreciate that. Queen Rachel, do we have any more super chats come in? I saw one at least.
Yeah, JW threw in $20 and just said, "Stay safe, everybody."
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. We echo those sentiments. Like we said, we got a ton of great guests coming up in the next couple of days and next couple of weeks. We're going to try to get Rose McGowan on. We'll talk to her about maybe doing a special episode tomorrow. If not, we will see you back here on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, midnight over in London, and a bunch of other times in other time zones. Y'all know how that works. Thank you for tuning in. And I believe that's it, right, guys?
That is it.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Isolation Nation. Stay safe. Go for a walk. Just stay away from human beings. Not that much to ask.
Good night.
Excellent.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Taylor, take us out.